What's up, people? Codingers back, and my dear friends out there, you probably must have heard that Bootstrap has released a new version called Bootstrap 5, and it has changed its logo. And yeah, they're pretty amazing features that they've put into that. And it's currently in Alpha 1, which means there still may be breaking changes to it. And I'll advise you to not use Bootstrap 5 in any sort of big production applications right now, because it's still an alpha one, and yeah, there might be many changes to it. But for small scale applications that the one we might build, I mean, it's just going to be a hands-on experience to all of so many of the new stuff that's going on in Bootstrap. So that's what we're going to be doing. First, I'm just going to explain what are the new stuff that are being introduced into Bootstrap, and then after that we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna teach you a new way to get Bootstrap into your file system. Not exactly a file system, to get it into your project, and a new way to open Visual Studio Code. So let's get started, and here we go. So number one, the thing that I enjoyed the most is that there's no more jQuery. So as far as I know, they replaced jQuery with extensive and powerful JavaScript plugins, which makes it a lot better, since I assume many people were waiting for jQuery to no longer be associated with any form of Bootstrap. And so for those people, their dream's finally here. And the next amazing part is that they have dropped support to the Internet Explorer web browser. So Internet Explorer, as some of you might know, has held back web development for several years. No offense to that, but I'm not a big fan of that either. And many of the Bootstrap features have been exactly dampened, because Bootstrap power has been dampened due to the support with Internet Explorer, and now there are many different things that Bootstrap can use, such as the Css Custom Properties or the Sass Utility API, and it's pretty amazing. You can change the Bootstrap, primary colors, secondary colors, much more, and you can add custom classes, and it's really amazing to see what you can do with Bootstrap 5. Even in Alpha 1, it's basically a God's tool. And next up, we have a better docs. So I like the look and feel of the docs a lot better. Some of you might argue that it's the same, and they did add a bunch of new stuff. A lot of new stuff. So you look here, the docs. Suppose you think of the old Bootstrap 4 docs as an old furniture case, but right now it looks more like the polished, the one you would see in a mansion. It's really amazing, and yeah, you see that they have given up jQuery. As you see, if you look over the documentation, you will see no more jQuery code going around here. And if you see here, the documentation length has essentially increased. Getting started did not have this much, I'm guessing, and customized layout, content, and forms, surprisingly, have got their own group of documentation. Suppose check boxes, and then they've got their own set of forms, which is really nice, and radio buttons, and there are all sorts of things that you could use. Files, input groups, validation. There's so many things that you can learn with Bootstrap 5. And I might make a crash course of it when it's officially stable. But right now, this is the only video I guess we're gonna do until it gets more stable, or maybe goes into beta or something like that. But until then, this is all we're gonna do. So components. You see, it has increased. We didn't have that scroll speed or tooltips. There are the documentation has increased, and obviously, if the documentation has increased, then their functionality or whatever the support has increased. Helpers, clear fixes, position, and utilities. I love the utilities API. I'm gonna be showing you, and yeah, it's the new Documentation is really amazing, and I found an article online. I don't exactly remember it, but it's not that important. I'm just gonna explain it. I'm just gonna explain to you. They also have an increased color. Like an extended color palette. So I'm just gonna show you Bootstrap 5 color palette. Not wrong spelling, but yeah, you see they have increased the Bootstrap 5 Alpha. So these are the new colors that they support, and frankly, it's really really amazing. Probably down here, yeah, I see there are like a hell lot of new colors that you could use, and I actually love it. You see, these are CSS custom properties that you could use, and yeah, you use Sass for that, and then Jquery brought unprecedented access to complex JavaScript behaviors. But yeah, now we are able to drop Jquery as a dependency, and so that is totally amazing. And Bootstrap 5 has a lighter file size if you were to download the source code, but that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be either using the CDN or I'm going to be using the npm installation. So Bootstrap was given as a pre-npm release. So I'm going to be teaching you the two ways to download Bootstrap to npm. I don't know what this song is about, but I'm just going to ignore that part. And it's really amazing what you can do with it. So yeah, there have been really nice changes, and I'm gonna open Visual Studio Code now. So I'm just going to open a command prompt. I told you I'd show you a new way. And I'm just going to go to the D library or the D drive. And I'm just going to go CD into my folders. So to be saved. Just ignore the names. You don't have to copy those names. They're just the files that already exist in my system, so don't worry. That's just a nickname that my dad gives me, so just don't focus on that. YouTube videos, and we're going to CD into HTML and CSS. It isn't exactly HTML and CSS, but we'll do, oops, no space, HTML and CSS. And now we go into course. It isn't exactly a course, it's more of like a review sort of thing. Crash course will be soon, but I have course and project. I just chose it to be in the course, so don't blame me now. I'm gonna make a directory called Bootstrap 5. Bootstrap 5, and I'm gonna cd into Bootstrap 5. Bootstrap 5, and I'm just gonna open Visual Studio Code. This is code that opens up Visual Studio Code to specify the folder. I'm just gonna specify doc, which means the current folder. I'm just gonna click enter, and we got Visual Studio Code up and running. I mean, I have a lot of files. I like to keep it organized, but yeah, you see, if you have very few folders, this might seem the best way to do it. But if you have a lot of folders, then probably you want to open it directly from Visual Studio Code. And I'm not gonna judge. And yeah, I forgot about the teensy weensy design video promise and all of that, but that's gonna be after the Bootstrap. This was too big of an event not to tell you about. And this is Node.js. So for the thing we're about to do, you require the installation of Node.js because we need the Node package manager or npm to essentially download the Bootstrap via npm, obviously. So npm is the Node package manager, and it is a program that you get after you install Node.js, and you can install either one of these. It's perfectly fine, whatever you install. And I'm just going to open the terminal with Control, Shift, and backtick for Windows. I'm not sure about the Mac, but for Mac you can just click here and then click New Terminal. I'm just going to drag this up a little bit, and I'm just going to execute a Node.js command. It's called npm init. Just gonna go over there. You might make customizations to this package.json. It contains all of the dependencies that you actually require. And I'm just going to just press enter right now because I don't want to customize anything. We're not actually doing a Node.js app or anything. So we got this package.json, and we want to install the Bootstrap 5. So currently, Bootstrap 4 is the only version which is stable. And before that, you might want to check your Node version before the installation of the Bootstrap. Sorry if I'm confusing you. So npm version and Node version. So these are my npm and Node versions respectively. And yeah, let's get Bootstrap installed. So npm I, which is for install. You can put install also, but I seems a better way to put it. And then I'm just gonna type Bootstrap. And you could do @next. And that gives you the latest version that's there. Right now it's Alpha 1 of Bootstrap 5. But if you're watching this at another time period, say when they have Bootstrap 7 or something, I don't know if that's even going to come. But if it's there, if you want this particular version, you could go instead of next 5.0.0 Alpha 1. Just go install that. And it's going to put that package. It's going to get that dependency. And we wait now, and as you see here, we get this node modules folder with the dist folder with our Bootstrap CSS format, JavaScript, and we get this distance source. We're not going to be looking at the dist or the JS. What we're going to be looking at is the Sass file. So many of you might know what Sass is, many of you might not. I might have to give you a Sass crash course. So what Sass is, it's a pre-compiler of CSS, which means that it should be compiled into CSS for browsers to understand that information. So for that, I'm just going to first take a look to in this files and variables, say, or anything. I'm just going to take a look. You'll see that they have these variables specified, suppose gray 100 equals this particular shade of gray, etc., etc. And you don't want to change it right here because that will be very messy and it won't work that way. So what you do is you have to create another Sass folder with another Sass file. I'm going to be showing you that in a minute because we're going to be coding in Sass essentially. I'm just going to close these node modules right then. And after that, I'm just going to come back in a minute. So what we're going to be doing now is, yeah, we're going to be building that, and I'm just going to go grab something for a second. So yeah, after that, we need to get a Sass compiler. It was pretty obvious, and we need to compile it into CSS. So for that, what I'm using is something in VS Code. So there you can install it. It's called Live Sass Compiler, which lets you compile it into CSS in Visual Studio Code. So for that, yeah, you can just enable or download that. And after that, I'm just going to create an index HTML file. I'm just going to close the terminal. We don't need it anymore. Exclamation point, boilerplate. And we're just going to rename this to Bootstrap 5. What's new? And right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to initialize our Sass file and compile it into CSS right then. So I'm just going to make a new folder called CSS. You could use Sass with SASS, but there are slight syntactical differences, but I prefer SCSS as it makes it easier, but I'm just going to call it Sass. So I'm just going to keep a style dot, no, not CSS. No, not Sass. It's SCSS. Focus. Okay, SCSS. And right now, I'm just gonna go import the Bootstrap. I'm just gonna go import the Bootstrap style sheet. So I want to go up one level into the node modules, into Bootstrap, and into SCSS, and into Bootstrap SCSS. So perfect. And we'll just go and we will compile this. So I'm just gonna go open Control-Shift-P. I don't know what this is called. I'm just gonna call it Command Tab. And if you type live Sass, you should get these 4 commands. And the one that we're gonna be using is the live Sass. It's gonna watch the Sass file and convert it to a CSS. and I think I may have jumbled the order of something. It's gonna appear in your terminal, not the terminal output, I guess. Or the problems. But yeah, you see in the output it's gonna be watching, and we have a CSS folder with a style CSS. And with all the Bootstrap, SCSS, and anything custom that you might add, and I'm not gonna even bother opening this because I know it's gonna be there because it's the output console. And now what we're supposed to do is we have to go into settings. Just before you do that, we go into settings, control comma, I mean we could do that also, and go to live Sass for a second, and live Sass settings auto prefix. You could go edit in JSON, and we can come up here and check out the live Sass compiler with the settings and format. And format can be compressed or expanded. It's perfectly the same. Compressed is all of that liney stuff. It just comes in one line and another line, like a boring school book, boring textbook stuff. And the extension name is supposed to be .css, and we want to save that path inside another CSS folder, or else it would be saved in the Sass folder, which we do not want. And then generate a source map. We don't need a source map. It's useless right now for my purposes. So I just put it to font as a false, and I'm not going to go over the font size. You can choose whatever you want. And live Sass settings auto prefix should be an empty array. And mostly all of these will be there by default, but if you don't have them, just check them out and edit them to whatever you like. And I'm just going to go back here, and I want to generate the boilerplate markup. So I'm gonna give an h1 a class of deflex text center, and yeah, that's for now. And I'm just gonna give it benefits of benefits. What's benefits? Exercise, and I'm just gonna link in the CSS. So link rel style sheet. I'm just going to change this to an equal to, and no. Get back to style sheet, close that, and then I'm just going to get an href to be css/style css. So perfect. And we want to open up the HTML with a live server, and that's what I'm going to do. And you see this perfectly formatted. That's perfect now, and I want the background to be sort of secondary, or I'm just gonna make it warning to make it a little yellow, or you might not. I'm just gonna go BG secondary, and I'm gonna show you how to. Oh yeah, not for this. I have to give a class to this, and I'm just gonna remove all the class of this and put it in the body to center the text and everything. I'm just going to give it a BG secondary. So that's perfect. And now we want to edit the secondary class. You could change the style. You could change the BG secondary. I'm just going to give it a comment of variable change. And I'm just going to go with secondary. Wait, do you put a $sign secondary? And one second, let me just check that from the documentation, and I'll be right back. Yeah, it's a $sign. So $sign secondary, and I'm just gonna give it semicolon, and probably want to change it to CCC, which is lighter gray. So hopefully it works. Does it work? BG secondary, want to change secondary, and there's a secondary. What's wrong here? Let me just check that. To be body, display flex, text center, the class will BG secondary. I'm just gonna copy this and maybe change it here. What's wrong? So I'll just try see if I should keep this above here, above the Bootstrap import. See that? No, still no. Yeah, now it works. You see, CCC, but yeah, that's perfect. And right now, what I'm gonna be doing is text center. I'm just gonna see if I should apply that class here. Nope. Text center deflex. Nope, not working. Why do you do this to me? Okay, fine. I'm not gonna be singing here. So, and that's another line. Remove that. Display flex text center. Why not working? I feel really sad. Then I'm going to have to take some vengeance out on you. Okay, so screw that. We'll just take that at the end. And I'm just going to give a div with a class of container and oh yeah, card. We need card. So I'm just going to teach you how to use the new documentation. It's practically the same, but I'm just going to change it to verify.getbootstrap.com. Go to the docs and components. Go to the card. This is supposed to be inline card. Where's the inline card? Okay, using grid markup, fine. Take this and copy. I'm just gonna come here, paste it in. So 2 cards, perfect. And we need them to have a margin top of something. And we want the card to have a margin top of 3. Okay, so it does. Has a margin top. I'm gonna give it a margin top of 100. Oops, there's no 100, perhaps. Margin top of 5, 10, nope, 9. Okay, we can adjust the margin top actually, and we could give it, yeah, perfect enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be so stylish and all that, but I'm just gonna copy this class right here and then put it into this card. So seems good. And special title treatment, and we could say burns calories and fat. Nice. And supporting text, we could just add a lorem ipsum. Lorem to that set of words and go somewhere. Okay, go somewhere. Okay, exercises. And I'm just gonna give that button that, and I'm just gonna take the second special title treatment and name it clears your mind of disturbing thoughts. And I'm just gonna go for lorem again. It's just essentially placeholder text and meditate. Nice. So these are whatever we want it to be. And now I'm going to show you how to change it using the utilities API. Or we could just use the variables. I'm going to show the utilities API can take another video. And this I'm just going to show you variables right there. So secondary, we want to give it a class of MT for margin top. And I want to change it to, oh no, I don't think this is the way we do it. We could use a utility API for that. And so for the utilities API, what we're gonna do, so I got an idea to center the text, and yeah, we could use the utilities API. So let's just go take a look in the Bootstrap CSS and go to utilities, and yeah, we could see some things, we could see some stuff here. And yeah, map margin utilities, we could just go margin, responsive true, property margin, class m values equals to map merge spacers auto. But I'm just going to be showing an easier version of this and make it a little better, because this is default setting a lot of values, but we just want only 1 value or 2 values to set it. So I'm just going to go for you. Wait, is this the way we define it? Forgot. Okay, so I'm just going to give a comment. Utilities default, and oops, Yeah, we need the semicolon, utilities, and yeah, we need to go for the utilities and the map merge. Utilities, we need to have the map merge. I'm just gonna get back here. We need another one. Then we could just, we need you to use a string or something. 1 second. Yeah, we don't need a string. We just need to say that we're using the utilities. And then now we wanna go for all the stuff. Say property padding. And after that, we need value. Is it the value? Let me see. No, wait. Yeah, it's the class. No, we're not using padding, sorry. Margin top. I'm gonna see if that works. To be honest, I've never used this before. Class. I'm just gonna go for empty. There's supposed to be a colon here. Class of empty. Wait, why is this white? It probably works. It didn't give us any error. So class empty, and we want to go for the values. So for the values, we're gonna be showing a key value pair. So for that, I'm just gonna be showing you something. So for the values here, I'm just gonna go with 0 and make it 0 rem, and go for 1 to be 1 rem. 2, oh no, need strings. 2 is equal to 2 rem. I hope I'm right on this. 3 to be 3 rem. Do we require the strings? No, we don't require the strings for the second one. 4. Just gonna go for 4 rem. You can specify how many ever values you want. I'm just gonna stop with 5. So perfect. And let's go for. We might want to change this empty class. Where's margin top 5? Okay, margin top 5. We might want to change this to CT for class top, because Bootstrap has already defined it. So CD5. Is that it? Or do they do this in Bootstrap? Oh no, I'm just gonna go for 10 rem in strides of 10s. See if this works. Oops. And now I'm just gonna go here, save it. No difference. I wonder why. I'm just gonna go. I'll just try not putting the. Oh wait. Am I editing it here? No, I'm editing it here. I'm just gonna go. I want to remove the. I'm just gonna remove the speech marks or the string. Say that. I'm just gonna try that. See if it works. If it works, hooray! If it works, no. So I'm gonna get back, and hopefully it works. Reload it. Nope, it doesn't work. Or let me see. Should I do margin itself? Not in utilities. Padding X, padding Y. So padding response equals true. Padding right, padding left. So here we should be property of margin top. So utilities and map merge to be align flow overflow. So I'm thinking we might need something to tell us what this is about. So I'm just gonna go for margin top, no, or margin Y. And I'm just gonna end it here. Save that. It's properly formatted. Wow, is that 10 OEM? I'm just gonna give this exact same class. Wait, this is margin CT. Woo! It just disappeared off the page. Little CD1. How about CD1? Yeah, that's perfect. It works. I feel so happy. So instead of CD5, I'm just gonna change this back to CD1. So yeah, that's perfect. And if you want, you can put a margin left, that sort of thing. For the title, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And the margin left of 5. And the normal one for the header. Doesn't work. I'm just gonna remove this. It goes back. Put it back. It goes this way. So wasn't display flex text center. I'm just gonna remove the display flex, see if it works. Yeah, it works. Why display flex? And this is perfect. So there you go, folks. I just want to put a small margin top over on this. And I'm just gonna give it margin top of 1 or 5 to be like a normal human being. So and this is it, guys. So I hope you enjoy. Bootstrap 5 has introduced certainly a lot of features. I hope to catch up with it properly and be a nice Bootstrap person, if that's a thing. And thank you guys for watching. Please check out my other videos. Subscribe to my channel if you found it interesting. And for future content like this, please hit the notification bell to receive updates on every video I make. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you soon.